The Jobless Man. My name is Kyra. I am 29 years old, and my husband Michael, 33, was the kind of man who always tried his best. We didn't have much, but we had peace. We had love. We had each other. Every morning before work, Michael would lift our 5-year-old child into the air, making them laugh loudly. I would watch them from the kitchen door, smiling like everything in the world was perfect. Our life wasn't glamorous, but it was happy. We paid our bills. We planned for our future. We talked about starting a small family business one day. Looking back now, I didn't know how much I would miss that simple, quiet peace. When I turned, I saw Michael standing at the door. He never came home by that time. His shoulders looked heavy. His eyes were empty. His steps were slow. I asked, "Michael, what happened? Why are you home early?" He sat down, rubbed his forehead, and said quietly, "Kyra, I lost my job today." My heart stopped for a moment. It felt like the world froze. But I forced myself to be strong. I walked to him, held his hand, and whispered, "It's okay. We will figure it out." But inside, fear was already planting seeds. Weeks passed like slow rain. Michael searched for jobs every day. Sometimes he left early for interviews. Other times he sat with his phone, waiting for a call that never came. I watched him lose his smile. I watched him lose his confidence. I watched him turn from a hopeful man into someone fighting silent battles. Some nights he barely slept. Some nights he woke up to check his email again and again. And some nights, he stared at the ceiling, thinking deeply. Meanwhile, the bills kept coming. Rent, food, transport, school fees, electricity, everything, and all of it fell on me. I became the only one working, the only one providing, the only one carrying the full load. I woke up early, came home late, worked extra hours, cut down on everything, clothes, treats, even rest. When I came home tired, hungry, and stressed, I still had chores waiting, cooking, cleaning, laundry, helping our child with homework, preparing things for the next day. My body was tired, my mind was tired, my spirit was tired, and slowly, something inside me hardened. I didn't plan to change, but stress changes people. I started feeling angry seeing Michael at home. I felt frustrated seeing him resting. Every little thing he said irritated me. Sometimes, I replied sharply. Sometimes, I ignored him. Sometimes, I walked past him like we were strangers. I didn't realize how much it hurt him, but it did. He felt useless. He felt unwanted. He felt like a burden in his own home. One night, around 1 a.m., I woke up to drink water. The light from the living room was still on. I walked there quietly. Michael was sitting alone, shoulders shaking slightly. I had never seen him cry before. I called softly, "Michael, what's wrong?" He wiped his tears and whispered, "Kyra, I feel like I have failed you. I hate that you're suffering because of me. I hate waking up every day without a job. I hate feeling like I am not a man." Those words stabbed my heart. At that moment, I realized, while I was drowning on the outside, he was drowning on the inside. His pain was different, but it was real, and I had been too blind to see it. I sat beside him and held his hand. We cried together, something we had not done in a long time. That night, I promised myself, I will fight with him, not against him. After that, he helped with cooking. He washed plates. He cleaned the house. He took care of our child. He supported me emotionally. He began to learn a new skill online. We brainstormed business ideas. We laughed a little again. We prayed together. Our home slowly became warm again. Not because things were easy, but because we decided to carry the pain together. Months passed. He applied for a new job. A small one, but a start. We prayed. We hoped. We held our breath. Then one afternoon, I was at work when my phone rang. His voice was shaking. Kyra, they accepted me. I screamed with joy. He laughed. Our child danced around the living room. When he got home, holding the job offer letter, I hugged him so tight that tears soaked into his shirt. It felt like we had survived a storm that wanted to break us. This experience taught us more than any book or advice ever could. We learned that love is not only about sweet moments. Sometimes love is carrying the person who once carried you. Marriage is not about money. It is about standing together in difficult seasons. A home becomes strong when two people choose to fight, not quit. Storms don't come to destroy strong families, they come to reveal them. And through this painful season, we discovered a deeper love than we ever had. I am 29, my husband is 33, and our child is 5. We survived months of fear, anger, stress, sadness, silence, and struggle. After many months passed, things slowly began to change in our home. When my husband finally got the good job, it felt as if the sun rose again in our home. The air changed, the mood changed, and even the way we looked at each other began to change. For the first time in a long while, we breathed with relief. His new job was better than the old one. The salary was higher, the environment was peaceful, and the people treated him with respect. Every morning, he would wake up gently, dress neatly, and leave the house with confidence. Gone were the days when he sat quietly at home, worried about the future. Now he walked with his shoulders high, like a man who had found his purpose again. At the end of the month, when he brought his first salary home, he placed the envelope on the table and said, "My love, this is for us. Thank you for carrying the family when I couldn't." I didn't even know when tears dropped from my eyes, not because of the money, but because of the love behind his words. For months I carried the weight of everything: house rent, food, bills, our child's needs. Now, we could share the burden again. He said, "I want you to rest. You carried us alone for too long. Thank you for standing by me. I won't forget it." I didn't say anything. I just smiled because hearing those words alone gave me peace. We started planning together. We bought small things we couldn't afford before: new curtains, better food, a few clothes for our child. Nothing big, but everything felt like a blessing. He became more caring, more present, more loving. Every night, he sat with our child, helping with homework. He started buying small gifts for me. The new job gave him more than money. It gave him dignity. It gave him back his confidence as a man, a husband, and a father. The second month came with small miracles. The first thing we fixed was the leaking roof. For months, during every rainfall, we used bowls and buckets to catch the water. But one Saturday morning, He bought materials and paid a carpenter to fix it. When the rain fell again, I stood in the middle of the room with my arms folded, smiling from ear to ear. No drops, no leaks, no stress. He said, "This is the beginning. We will fix everything one by one." We also repaired our faulty fan, bought new bedsheets, and filled our kitchen with food we hadn't eaten in a long time. I even started resting more because I wasn't the only one carrying everything anymore. Hardship can break love, but sometimes, it can also make it stronger. In our case, it made our love deeper than before. There were days during his jobless period that I almost gave up, but now, seeing him rise again, I realized that those days only strengthened our bond. During the period my husband was at home jobless, our child was always quiet, always watching us with worried eyes. But now, it was like the child found new life. One Friday, he came home earlier than usual. He walked in quietly and said, "I have a surprise for you." I looked at him with confusion. Then he pulled out a small black envelope and placed it in my hand. Inside was money, much more than I expected. He said, "I got a bonus at work. This is for you. Use it for yourself. Buy something you like. Not for the house, not for bills, for you." My eyes filled with tears immediately. I hadn't bought anything for myself in months. Every single thing I earned went into food, school fees, rent, and survival. That bonus felt like a gift of freedom. I hugged him tightly and whispered, "Thank you for remembering me." He replied, "You remembered all of us when I had nothing. Let me also remember you now." We became stronger as a couple, wiser with our decisions, and more grateful for every blessing, big or small. Looking back now, I realize that sometimes life closes a door only to open a bigger and brighter one. What felt like the end was actually the beginning of something greater for us. Our story is a reminder to anyone facing hardship. Don't give up. Hold on. Keep believing. Better days always come.